So this morning I'm going to reflect on the extraordinary effort of GAA volunteers and clubs in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. 2 years ago, the world and our country faced one of the greatest challenges of our time. Our way of life, which we had come accustomed to, had been turned on its head as we faced the worldwide coronavirus pandemic. As Gaels, all that was important to us quickly became out of reach. Time with family and friends and neighbours, activity at our grounds, competitions, training, fitness and events all came to a halt. Gates closed. Activity stopped and interaction limited. In those early days of the pandemic, none of us knew what to expect or for how long our lives would be so disrupted. So we joined people around the world in battening down the hatches and staying at home. But it is not natural for a Gael to stay at home, and soon there were Zoom meetings and many telephone conversations. What can we do? How can we help? The overwhelming motivation to serve our community and its people began to build in the hearts and minds of Gaels across every club in Ireland, and indeed here in Ulster. Soon Gaels found a way to interact together, to play their part in bringing us all through these difficult times. For some, the focus was on coaching and fitness, and the world of social media soon became awash with GAA challenges for all generations to participate in. This gave people at home something positive to work towards and helped improve mental and physical health. Many coaches continued to send skills drills to their underage teams and encouraged young players to get outside into their gardens and practice Gaelic games. Some clubs joined step challenges and encouraged their members to get outside, or walk and run to combat the new sedentary life we were living. Our gardens became walking tracks and our front living rooms indoor gyms. But soon Gaels realised that we could do far more. The GAA serves its community, and during the dark days of 2020 and indeed into 2021, GAA clubs found their way of serving their communities. The GAA club evolved to respond to worldwide crisis. Instead of playing our games and competing, instead of administering and coaching, instead of running events and fundraising, our club members were evolving, responding and acting. Our activities changed. Soon it was the GAA club collecting groceries for the elderly and vulnerable, picking up prescriptions and distributing food parcels. GAA clubs worked to ensure vulnerable and isolated members of their community were safe. With a simple phone call or regular doorstep conversation, for some it was their only conversation they enjoyed during those bleak days. And Gaels were out in the fields looking after animals for those shielding. They provided schools with activity packs for children while delivering essential goods to the elderly in nursing homes. GAA clubs paid tribute to our health workers, and some even spent their times making scrubs to keep our health workers safe. And above all, clubs adhered to the regulations and the leadership shown by Croke Park. Thankfully, we entered new brighter days, and the focus shifted from simply doing what we had to do to get through these hard times to planning for the future and returning to play safely. Again, it was the GAA clubs who led the way, applying for funding for safety materials, hand sanitisers, signage, gloves, PPE. And our club members responded accordingly with new technology and regulations around completing health questionnaires, making difficult calls when team players tested positive, and ensuring contact tracing was done meticulously within the club. The demands of the GAA volunteer became greater than ever before. COVID coordinators in every club, and COVID policies and procedures adopted by club executives. AGMs held out in car parks and matches cancelled to protect public health. A slow return to play, and grounds reopening again for walking and fitness. GAA clubs should be very proud of how they were able to evolve and adapt to an unknown and uncertain threat. On the return to play, it was the GAA outdoor competitions that give those cooped up in their home for so long something to finally look forward to. And I think we all know how enjoyable those early games were. The result was not always the most important thing, but interaction with others that we hadn't seen in so long, a little bit of normality was savoured. Thankfully, our clubs got back to doing what we do best, delivering high quality sporting, cultural and community activity. And for many clubs, even with our own activities back, we still managed to find time to volunteer at testing centres, club halls used as testing facilities, and of course the mammoth effort by GAA volunteers at the mass vaccination centres. For long months, hundreds of Gaels donned their volunteer bibs to ensure safe and efficient rollout of the vaccines. We are proud to have worked with our partner organisations in Volunteer Now and the British Red Cross, and with our colleagues in the health service and local trusts in delivering this vital vaccination programme. This work was extremely important and rewarding, as it offered our volunteers the opportunity to be involved in an essential process to help bring us out of this pandemic. We pay tribute to all the volunteers who give so much of their time over the 7-month period from January to August 2021. Another fine example of how GAA volunteers rise to any challenge. The GAA stood up to the greatest challenge of our time and did what the GAA does best, delivering for others. Today we can look back on that strange period of our time and be proud of our clubs and our association who led from the front. In years to come, we will teach a new generation of the bravery and determination of so many men, women and indeed children whose desire to volunteer and deliver for their communities, to stand up in the face of adversity and to help others, carried not only them, but us all through one of our darkest times. Today, we thank all our clubs and all our club volunteers involved in any way in helping our people and our communities through the coronavirus pandemic. Our work still may not be done, but we all know that we can count on the GAA club in time of greatest need. The GAA, it really is where we all belong. Thank you.